Good morning, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a good day, everyone, and God bless you. Alright, let's get into the news this Tuesday morning. And it looks like Liz Cheney has hit peak delusion thinking that she is a serious candidate for 2024. She thinks there's a large sector of society out there who wants her to run for president. This warmonger, this person who continues to lead this witch hunt against Trump, thinks that she is popular enough in order to enable to carry the Republican ticket. Not only carried a Republican ticket, but also win the general election 2024. This is how delusional this individual is, and someone who is down 30 points in her own state where she is begging Democrats to come out and vote for her, showing them how to switch their party registration from Democrat to Republican in order to vote for her in the primary to just get over the primary hump. It's not going to work, however. She is delusional beyond anything I've ever seen. This is what power-crazed, starred, loved media individual dispersion. We've covered this a couple different times on the channel, talking about how Liz Cheney is looking to run for president, and how Democrat media is urging her, and they continue to ask her these questions. Are you going to run for president? Are you going to run in 2024? Because he's immediate darling. Why? Because she's going after Trump. That's the only reason she is immediate darling. It says peak delusion right now. Sellout Liz Cheney teases potential GOP presidential run in 2024, tells CNN we have to elect serious candidates. What a fantastic picture of Liz Cheney. The like this, it's uncanny, says in case you need any more evidence of how deeply unhinged American politicians are from reality, you need to look no further than neocon swamp creature Liz Cheney, who is actively teasing a presidential bid in 2024. Following this week's latest installment of its ridiculous January 6 show Trials, Cheney appeared on CNN's State of the Union on Saturday to recap the committee's latest bombshell revelation. Spoiler alert, there was done. In the apparent as host, Jake Tapper asked a deeply unpopular Wyoming congresswoman about her upcoming midterm re-election bid and her future poor political plans. Despite facing cratering poll numbers in her home state, and being despised by conservatives across the board, Cheney feels confident about the upcoming election so much, so she isn't ruling out a presidential run in 2024. Awfully brazen for someone who is getting select by the Trump-endorsed challenger for her congressional seat. Yes, we know that. While there's nothing that is decided yet, Cheney explained how she is keeping her options open. If she did enter the race, she would likely go head-to-head against two-time presidential-elect Donald Trump for the GOP nomination. The nerve of some people is astonishing. According to Cheney, America needs to elect serious candidates, which is hilarious considering the partisan dog and pony show she is currently participating in, so she is a city seriously considering throwing her hat into the ring. Come 2024, I wonder too. Please do that. Please, 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 please run. I want you to run. I want you to be embarrassed. I want you to be booed. Wherever you go. I want the embarrassment to stick on you like stank. However, it's worth pointing out that while Cheney v. Trump debate would be a showdown for the ages a la Hillary v. Trump in 2016, it would likely mean that Cheney hangs on to her seat in the midterms, which would not be a good sign for the security of our elections. If that comes to pass and Cheney does hang on, against all odds, maybe she does have a shot in 2024. After all, if Dementia Joe and his crackhead crime family can get in, that anything's possible, and who knows, maybe Cheney will finally drop the Rhino Act and team up with Hillary if she jumps in. Now, that's some nightmare feel. Yeah, just think about that for a little bit. Right. But I don't believe she is going to win Wyoming. I don't think there is enough for her to win there. I do believe that she is going to lose. And I truly hope she fades away from the political sphere from that point forward. Maybe becoming a regular on The View with Joy Behar. And next news. It's getting real. Donald Trump once again essentially confirming that he's running for office, and well, what do you think is happening? The same thing that always happens? Democrats enter complete panic mode. All the left-wing media bogus claims about Donald Trump falling off in this, that and the other are falling apart spectacularly as Donald Trump continues to prove that he is in fact the most popular choice ahead of 2024. And no matter what the shills do, no matter what the shills say, no matter what new narrative, what new, bogus narrative, they try to summon or drum up, well, in the end, like their two failed impeachments, it just ain't working. So let's continue to cover this beautiful sag of the timeline. That is the Donald Trump Dawn 45 comeback seems like it's in full effect, folks. We got some stuff to get into. So let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Oh, you were seeing all over Twitter, all over the leftist media. Tons of headlines popping up was that Donald Trump was no longer the preferred candidate ahead of 2024. That's what they kept telling you. Donald Trump is done. They said Liz Cheney and Nancy Pelosi have officially ended the Trump threat. Well, that's what they were telling themselves more so than anything else. In reality, the most recent straw poll conducted by Trafalgar Group shows a very different story. Take a look at this. 78.7% of people question in this particular poll stand firmly behind Donald Trump. 19% would rather see Ron DeSantis. The lower you go down the list. Well, we pretty much see what's going on here. There's been a lot of talk of Mike Pence versus Donald Trump, which we covered yesterday. Yeah, not exactly playing out like the media wants it to, no matter how many times Fox News absolute clown Geraldo Rivera puts out garbage tweets like this: Biden would be Trump, Cheney would beat Biden, Liz Cheney for POTUS. Yeah, not so sure about that one. And of course, continuing on. That narrative that Liz Cheney would be Biden, but Donald Trump could not beat Biden once again, right back to Trafalgar Group data. A very recent poll shows that Donald Trump holds a very steady lead and hypothetical 2024 matchup against Joe Biden. In fact, Donald Trump's lead continues to expand. He continues to get more powerful politically, especially in the general election sense. But Geraldo Rivera wants you to believe that Liz Cheney is a better option. Liz Cheney, who can't even come close to winning in her own estate, who is going to get smoked beyond belief in Wyoming. Liz Cheney, who wouldn't even be able to get 1% of a primary vote, is somehow going to win a general election against Joe Biden. The same garbage that we see from Bernie Sanders. Oh, Bernie Sanders would beat Donald Trump handedly. Bernie Sanders can't even win a Democrat primary, but he's somehow supposed to beat Donald Trump. Give me a break. The copious media shills are coming out in full force. And of course, what do you think that means? Well, they're threatened. They're threatened by Donald Trump's increased or consistent popularity as their narratives and their candidates continue to crumble under the pressure of this Joe Biden presidency. The media is in panic mode. And this piece from Axios is exactly what I mean. Written by Jonathan Swan, a radical plan for Trump's second term. Former President Trump's top allies are preparing to radically reshape the federal government if he is re-elected, purging potentially thousands of civil servants and filling career posts with loyalists to him and his America First ideology. People involved in discussions tell Axios the impact could go well beyond typical conservative targets such as Environmental Protection Agency and the Internal Revenue Service. Trump allies are working on plans that would potentially strip layers at the Justice Department, including the FBI, and reaching into National Security Intelligence and State Department and the Pentagon. Sources close to the former president says Jonathan Swan is writing this piece obviously pushing the same narrative with threat to democracy. But what it really reads like is an article titled Top 10 Reasons to Clean Up the Federal Government, Promote America First Ideology, Clean Up the IRS, and of course, corrupt Democrat-infected federal agencies like the FBI and the CIA. And of course the DOJ. Oh no, Donald Trump wants to drain the swamp. Don't vote for him, folks. Mud democracy. Pretty sure that's exactly why people want to vote for Donald Trump in the first place. Absolute fool's panic mode continues though. Take a look at this right over here. Trump's Chris Middle intent is now clear. Merrick Garland's intentions aren't. DOJ leaders are asking the American people to trust them but follow the House's final, at least for a while, January 6th committee hearing that trust is eroding, essentially calling to arrest Donald Trump to save my democracy. With the signals as panic mode as we see the final January 6th committee hearing, at least for now, the whole thing has ended in a total bust and Democrats go deeper and deeper into total panic mode. That's exactly what we're seeing. I think I'm done with my examples. Well, of course not. Another one from MSNBC, Mojo Democracy. MSNBC is Malcolm Nance predicts weekly impeachment jailing of January 6th committee. No more elections ever if Republicans win the Democrats. Everyone listen to this. Joe Biden, all the rest of them need to understand they are what are we? July, August, September, October, November. You are 4 months from the end of American democracy. 4 months and we said that in 2020. And that was true then, do right. But now you're talking about putting a party in power in which there will never be another election. They will vote through every piece of legislation and defund every component of the United States government that are joking about impeaching Joe Biden every week. Okay. And Kamala Harris and getting rid of people in expanding the Supreme Court, whatever it is they think they can do, even though some of it's crazy. First thing that they said, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Bavard said, "We will criminally prosecute every person who took part in the January 6th investigation." They're talking about militarizing as a dictatorship as a Duma, like in Russia. Congress. This will be the end of Congress. We've already seen the end of the Supreme Court. We've seen the Supreme Court as no longer an instrument of justice. It is a political body that is looking out for its own personal political interest. Well, Congress could end this November. I mean, these people are crazy. They're actually crazy. People say, "Oh, that's crazy. This is crazy. She's crazy. He's crazy," mostly facetious. Exaggerating. No, these people are literally legitimately clinically insane, crazy wackos. They've completely lost their mind. It's the same 2016 effect. We can measure media craziness intersected Donald Trump relevance. Trump actually said this during his most recent rally. And Trump said, "If I renounced my beliefs, and if I agreed to stay silent, and if I stayed home and took it easy, if I announced that I was not going to run any longer for political office, the persecution of Donald Trump would immediately stop. You know that, right? Immediately stop. They would go on to the next victim." And I think he's right. If Donald Trump decided one day, screw this whole politics thing, I'm going home. Great, you guys. And getting in? Well, I think we probably wouldn't ever hear from him again. But the moment Donald Trump becomes a political threat, again, all of a sudden, he's the focus of the media. In fact, he's all they ever talk about. Actually, here's another example from MSNBC. Joe Scarborough, everyone listen to this. Is Secret Service decided protecting Donald Trump as more important than protecting American democracy? I can't imagine. I can't imagine how the Department of Justice wouldn't launch an investigation today. Hey, America, wake up. Merrick Garland. Wake up. Wake up. Hey, Merritt. Wake up. Okay, they're openly calling for Merrick Garland to go after Donald Trump when they know there's no evidence. They're begging him. They're freaking out. It's not working. It's not working. The January 6th hoax is not working. And now they are on their knees begging for Merrick Garland to pursue criminal charges with no evidence of a crime, and they look absolutely desperate and pathetic. There's no other way to describe it. They know that 2022 is looking real grim and real bad. They know that Joe Biden is not up to the task, definitely won't be up to the task by the time it comes to campaign for his second term in office, will most likely be in the midst of a recession at the time, or Republican Congress for the second half of his term, ensuring that he is a complete lame duck. Democrats, of course through the media, are trying to replace Joe as hard as they possibly can. All of a sudden, have you noticed that the mainstream media is talking about Hunter Biden now being possibly charged with crimes? Hunter Biden, who's been a criminal for more than a decade, there's been evidence of crimes on multiple occasions, whether it's the Hertz rental car or the federal gun crime that he committed, not even counting the laptop or any of the overseas dealing or any of that stuff. A man who's committed crimes on multiple occasions and has never had to face the consequences of his actions. Well, all of a sudden, we hear from the media that Hunter Biden is possibly going down on criminal charges. That's when the Democrats are clearly trying to get rid of this guy. And it all just shows one thing: they're desperate. They're scared. They know they're going to lose with Joe in 2024. They know Donald Trump's back. They know that he is better than ever, that he's frankly past and looking for revenge. And they also know that all of the fear-mongering and all the mud democracy garbage isn't convincing anyone, and so we are talking about peak panic mode, the highest level of desperation we have seen since after Donald Trump's 2016 miraculous upset victory that started all of this establishment media and Democrat hysteria in the first place. Well, it's round 2, and hopefully 2024 is a repeat of 2016 history. Thank you for always watching and subscribing to the channel. Every channel subscribe is